All right, hi. So today we're going to be doing a cut and paste project. What you end up with is something that looks like this, or like this. We're gonna start by having our paper and portrait orientation, such. We're going to identify the middle of our paper and draw some wavy lines. If you are like us and have bumpy tables, I suggest using clipboards. But then we're going to continue this pattern throughout the bottom of our paper. Until you get a nice pattern somewhat like that. Then we're gonna put in mountains. Most of these kids know how to draw mountains. They can be rounded or triangular. I'm gonna put some snow at the top of my mountains because that's just fun. So we end up with something that looks like this. Then I'm gonna tell the kids to put that aside. We're gonna grab our other piece of paper. The first piece, this piece, is going to be on the nice watercolor paper. This is going to be on just scratch paper, printer paper. We're gonna talk about subject. So when we talk about the subject of our piece, the subject of our piece is the focal point. So we're gonna pick what we wanna do in terms of our subject. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a worm this time. So he looks like this. Give him an eye. And give him some segmentation because worms are segmented. All right, so I give them the option to color in their subject. Totally fine. Then we're gonna take our scissors and we're going to cut our subjects out. We're gonna try to not, you're gonna have some kids that are gonna wanna get very complicated on their subject matter. We're gonna try to keep them pulled towards simple because individual lines don't cut out well, obviously, and we also end up in a time crunch. So got him cut out. At the beginning of class, you're gonna have everybody get out their crayons, which they should have, and their watercolor palettes. So after we get this cut out, we're going to go ahead and use our watercolor palettes to do a resist painting on our watercolor paper. So as you see in these, you're just gonna paint your different layers and different patterns with different colors. I'm sorry, I'm going backwards here. Before we do that, we're gonna put in our northern lights, and you can talk a little bit about the aurora and what the aurora is, how it's created by sun flares and that sort of thing. I'm not gonna paint this right now, but we're gonna go ahead and paint this piece. And then at the end of class, if you get the time, which hopefully you do, we're going to glue our subject onto our paper. So the watercolor is gonna have to dry before you can glue this on, but watercolor typically dries really quickly. So I haven't had much trouble in my older classes. The younger classes, it's a little difficult, and if we have to, we'll just finish up this project next week. For your setup, what you're gonna want is you're going to want water, glue, paintbrush, scissors, a black crayon, and 3 colored crayons, and that's it. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.